let's get going then. So I'll let Eric start out. We'll introduce ourselves. My name is Rob, and this is Eric, and we're partners and co-owners of Liquid Lumens. And we're excited to have Davis Distribution and your network of dealers on board with us and getting started with our product line. If you guys don't have the chat open on the side of the window, and you guys can feel free to enter in questions while we're talking, and we can answer your questions as we go. But we'll start out by I'll let Eric do kind of a brief introduction on our product and who we are, what makes our product unique for the boating industry, and kind of our background, and then we'll go from there.
So we're out of Salt Lake City, Utah. We founded in 2016 with our lighting product. We have a sister company called Liquid Propulsion, which also sells stern thruster products, which we want to add to your bag. We just haven't got it to the point where we're ready to offer it in the scale that you guys would need to make it worth it. We wouldn't hate to disappoint you guys by not being able to deliver products. So in short time, we hope to deliver a thruster opportunity for you guys to sell. Right now, we're here to talk about marine lighting, specifically marine lighting for freshwater environments. I will give a caveat and say that we have some saltwater products that are on their way. They're a lot more complex. They're made out of manganese bronze, and we have to have those casted. All of the other products we're going to talk about today are made out of aluminum and finished in a Cerakote finish, and we actually manufacture that here in Salt Lake City. So mostly focused on freshwater environment as of today. If you look at our Instagram, we have so many high performance, high quality pics of our products. These truly are a quality, very high output light. You can find much cheaper in the industry. They won't perform like ours do. So again, reference our Instagram account to see some of the imagery that you're seeing. And none of these images that you see on Instagram are doctored. I mean, they're all real, filmed with GoPro. It's good stuff. So I'll just get right into it then. This is super informal, and we probably need to work on a little more formality in our training. I'm just going to talk a lot today, but we'll be developing some slide decks that we can send out soon with some of the technical specs. Also, our website does have a lot of the technical specs as well. Yeah, can you guys see this on your screen?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is our Instagram account. It's very powerful. So as you're talking to, people that want to buy the product, dealers, whatever, sharing this often goes a very long way with understanding the product and just seeing how bright and performance driven it is. Currently, we are on a Generation 2 release of the product. We released that about a year ago, made a lot of improvements over Generation 1. So everything that we're selling and that is available to you is considered a revamp or Gen 2. We can just watch this video real quick here. What you're seeing here is, so this gentleman's surfing behind a boat. They have underwater lights on, as well as what we call a topside light. So if you notice the swim deck there's light coming out the top as well. That's called a triple topside, and that's kind of a special release product that we have for sale. But if you observe, with an observant eye, you'll notice that there's light both underwater and on top. We'll talk about some of those products here in just a minute. So if you want to go back to the camera mode, Rob.
Yeah.
What I have right here, this is what we call a traveling sales kit right here. So this doesn't have all of our products. It's got a lot of the main ones, but there are additional products available on the website. But this is meant to, put on a plane with you, put in the car, take it through the airport.
We've sent 2 of those to Davis already.
We have sent 2, yep, and we have more available if people think that it's useful. These are quite expensive and they take a while to make. So if you think you can use it and value from it, we're happy to send you, some more of these travel kits. They plug in just like here, so you can take the cord out, plug it in. This right here in the corner is an RGB driver. You'll notice that, some customers will say, they have an older boat, they don't have an RGB processor. They can purchase one from us. They can purchase one from our competitors for that matter. And this is what processes the signal for an RGB light. I do have one in the travel kit so that we can make this full function. Then what I have is the ability for you guys to take a light, let customers handle them, manipulate them, look at them, and also plug them in. So I'm going to start with actually this light right here. Okay, this light right here is called the skinny dip. It's got a thinner shape than this other light here. This is our basic performing light. This is a light that competes in cost with, say, what a customer would pay to have basic lights installed at the factory if they build a boat, or some of the more basic lights on the market. But this one really performs well. You'll notice that it's got a black finish on it. All of our lights have a black finish. This is a Cerakote finish. So this is a similar finish that is on like gun barrels. It is super resistant to water. It resists like the chemicals that we use in our manufacturing process. It's really good with that. It maintains a sheen for a long time. We've tried powder coat, we've tried anodization, and they didn't hold up. But this new Cerakote product is great. Again, every one of our lights is finished in this, unless you get the saltwater versions, which are just a raw manganese bronze. Also to note, this light has kind of a funky little lens on it. You can see from the profile, it sticks out. It's not a flat lens. This has purpose. It's a borosilicate glass lens. And what it does is light wants to go every direction when you turn it on, unless you control it, unless you focus it. So what this does is it takes that beam angle and it tightens it up so it puts the light behind the boat where customers want it, not out to the sides. This is a 45-degree beam angle. It does look funny. We're okay with that. You can tease us about that. We're good with it. It really does take that light and put it into a really nice beam pattern behind. Both of these lights have a similar kind of lens. But we're gonna differentiate here real quick. So the skinny dip, again, our entry-level product, it runs retail about $1,000 a pair.
A little over $1,000 a pair retail, yeah.
Yep, that's what the customer would pay. It comes with a pigtail on it. Usually they're a little longer than this. They're about a 3-foot pigtail. And what this pigtail does is allow you to go from the back of the light up forward wherever the RGB processor is in the boat. This light right here can hook into any boat that has a factory RGB processor by simply connecting into the 4 signal wires. Or if that boat doesn't have one or the customer needs one, they can buy one of our RGB processors and install it in the boat. And that just takes 12 volts and is controlled with a remote control. So this is what we call a 4-wire light. I know you can't see it here, but if I was to peel this back, you would see 4 wires. You would see a red, a green, and a blue LED wire, and then you would have a common as the 4th wire. So any boat that is running an RGB signal, this can plug right into. Some boats have the ability to control RGB from the touchscreen. This works just fine with that. You can plug it right into those signal wires. It lights up great. The colors match very well. Green matches with green, blue matches with blue. I mean, it works really well. There's some smarts in here as well. Inside this has a voltage regulator. It also has a temperature regulator. So if the voltage is too low, this light will just turn itself off. It's at 10.5 volts or lower, it just shuts off. Also, if the light were, if the customer lit this up on their boat, it happens to be on the trailer. And the light, all LEDs naturally produce heat. These stay nice and cool in the water, but that's okay to turn it on out of the water. It just, as it hits a thermal temperature, the light will automatically start stepping itself back. On this light here, there's about 4 step backs. And if it continues to get hot, it'll just eventually shut itself off until the temperature reduces, and then it can bring itself back on again. So there are smarts included in this as well. All the LEDs inside, that is our own proprietary LED board. This is not purchased in China. These are all manufactured by us. This is our board. These are our patents. We hold how many light patents now? 10 or 11 light patents that go along with this technology.
With several more pending. So
yep. So skinny dip, about $1,000 a pair. Typically customers buy them in pairs. Every picture you've seen on Instagram there, and if you go through it, they're typically pairs of lights.
Yeah.
You can buy one, you can buy three. Say a customer has two outboard motors on their boat. They want to put one on the outside, and they could buy a third one to put it in the middle.
For a houseboat, a cabin cruiser, bigger boats, they may put 3 or 4.
Go fast boats, power boats,
center
consoles.
We've seen a customer put as many as 8 on a wakeboard boat, which is a little bit overkill, but to each their own. We don't mind customers buying more.
So this light and the LEDs inside run on about 12 volts. So this takes power right off of the boat's battery and goes right into here. Each one of these pulls about 2.5 amps. I can tell you when you light them up on this display here, you're going to be impressed. It's our budget light, but it really does a good job of processing light. You can see here. I mean, I'm not going to see it from the camera very well, but there it is going through some color changes like that. So this is this travel kit's really handy for you to show off the product.
And what we found is when we go into dealerships, like in the early days, that's how we got all of our dealers, was just we throw a travel kit like this in the back of the car and drive around and walk in. And when we would plug this in, we'd say, let's compare it next to the light on your boat now. And every dealer was impressed and blown away by the performance. And so it's a great sales tool to put this in front of the dealer or the customer in the dealer's case and just show them the difference. They understand what they're paying for and the performance difference that they're getting in buying a Liquid Lumens product.
Yep.
So
that's the skinny dip. I'm going to talk about an upgrade right here. Oh, did I grab it? Oh, I did. Okay. This is the next step up. This is what we're going to call the pipeline. As you notice, a lot of similarity. This one's a little thicker in its body. I'll talk about why in a minute here. This lens angle here is a 60-degree beam angle instead of 45. We went 45 on this one because it's a lesser powered light, and we wanted to really kind of intensify its projection back in the water. This one, the skinny dip, is 2.5 amps we talked about when presented with 12 volts. This one at 12 volts actually pulls 7.5 amps each. So it's about 3 times, the current draw, but this has much more going on inside of it. 12 volts on this one. This one actually runs 34 volts. So we take 12 volts into it, 7.5 amps at 12 volts, but then we process it and we create 34 volts for the LEDs. There are many, many more LEDs on this board as well. I mean, it is super bright. Also, it's what we call a 6-wire light. Skinny dip has 4. One little, there's 4 wires in this little pigtail. This one splits off. You've got the same 4 here that you had on the skinny dip, but then there's another pigtail, a bifurcation in the wire. What this is, these 2 additional ones are for power. Okay, there's going to be situations where customers have, their boat might be pre-wired for underwater lights. Those pre-wire on the boat, the wires are likely too small to support all the current draw that we need. So what we do is we take this pigtail goes to your RGB processor, again, just like the skinny dip. And then this one goes directly to a power source. So it would go to a bus bar or a circuit breaker or directly to the battery for that matter with the right size wire. And every one of these we sell. You can also buy an extension to get you around the boat and ultimately plug into wherever you need to go. For example, the power extension is 25 feet long. And at the other end of it, we've got 3/8 rings to hook up directly to a battery and an inline fuse. So when you buy those, it just makes it much easier for the customer, for the dealer to do the install. We tried to make our kits as turnkey as possible so that you don't have to get in and out of the boat and make wire harnesses and go back and forth.
On the 4-pin side of this, the reason we did it this way as well is because most of the factory RGB controllers are 4-wire. 4 or 6 wire. And so in this case, you can take this 4 wire plug and connect it right into the factory harness. We're going to read the signal off the factory RGB controller and interpret it to match the light color with the boat's RGB controller if it comes equipped with one. So you don't need to necessarily add an RGB driver. We'll tap into just about anyone on the market. It's just, we just run the separate power lines to handle the higher current draw.
So what you saw here, I had to plug in 2 wires. Ooh, I'm sorry. I had to plug in 2 sets of wires here. Again, I got power running here and then my RGB signal. I'm turning it on from the remote. Just incredibly bright light. In fact, I will say this because I got red on right there. I don't know if it's hard to tell. Red is a very difficult color to manufacture in the LED world. It is less efficient than green and blue. So you don't see many red underwater LEDs on the market. And if you do, they're not very strong. What we have done is since this is our generation 2, we took all of our knowledge from generation 1 and we created a LED board that is customized for what we wanted to see, which was if you're standing on the back of your boat and you're kind of going through all the various colors, what we didn't want to do is see the light, where the light kind of blends away. We didn't want it to be doing this, getting closer and getting further. Some lights are brighter, some colors are brighter than others. So we overpopulated red because it was that one color that would come way back, like you would lose a lot of efficiency in it. So we have more red in here than anyone else on the market. And so when you do go through the colors, you're not seeing it bounce around like this. It's an impressive color. And a lot of people who know LEDs and know red say, wow, that is super impressive.
So let me share the screen for one more minute here, and I'll show you an example of this. So as you watch just on the homepage of our website, as those colors are cycling through, you notice that you don't see a big brightness drop off. Now, the camera aperture is adjusting somewhat for that light, so it plays tricks on your eyes a little bit, but that was by design. We wanted to utilize that full power supply to get maximum output in any color. So your pinks, your purples, your reds, your blues, like Eric was saying, are going to come out just as bright as the whites and the really bright colors, the greens,
yep.
You know, things of that nature.
So pipeline is I'm just gonna I know the retail numbers, and it's roughly $2,600 retail for a pair of those.
About $2,400.
$2,400.
Well, and then wire harnesses and things if you have those in, and that's where it gets to 26.
And then you should all have a price sheet, by the way. So I'm just stating retail. I don't remember exactly what your distributor pricing is, but
and Davis Distribution has all that they can share with with all of you dealers that haven't seen it yet.
Yep. These are the main products that we like to, these are going to be probably, these 2 products here are probably going to be 70% of what you're going to sell. We have other products like accent deck lights, waterproof deck lights that can be installed, in and outside the boat. These are fully waterproof. So we've seen customers install them like above the swim deck, but these are available. I don't know if they're on their distribution list, but they're in the travel kit.
They're not currently because we were working on a redesign on those, and the new ones are on their way. So as soon as we've got those in inventory, we'll update that price sheet and let you know that they're available.
One step up from where we just were. Okay, this is a monster. You guys can see this. This is kind of that Mac Daddy.
It weighs almost 8 pounds in aluminum. So
yeah, this light is basically one fixture, but 2 of these in one fixture. We originally designed this for boats that had like a wider beam. We're talking like yachts or houseboats or power boats that have a really wide beam and they needed more light. But what it's kind of turned into is that guy, whomever that knows they have to have the brightest light in the market. They'll typically buy 2 of these. We call this the Maverick. A lot of our names are coming from, famous surf waves, the Pipeline Mavericks, and we've had other surf wave names, but that's where the names comes from. But this is just like this light, but it's just 2 of them in one fixture. I've got these on my houseboat. I got 3 of these on the back of my houseboat. I actually have a Supra, and I have 2 of these on the back of it. And it's just like the most incredible light.
It's awesome.
I mean, again, it's expensive, but it's for that guy or gal who's like, I need to have the absolute brightest. My water's brackish. I don't have good quality. I surf at night. I hang out on the back of my boat at night. Whatever. If they know they come in talking about they need bright, this is probably kind of the direction they're heading to. So this is the Mavericks, and this is also in their price list, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And I think Davis Distribution already has Mavericks, pipelines, and skinny dips in stock.
Yep.
So.
Yep. All of our lights are also come connectorized, which you'll find is a marine certification that we want to adhere to. But they come, the lights come pre-pinned, but without this connector on them. The reason being is because we want you to drill the smallest hole possible, slide it in, and then you can connectorize it from the inside. And we give instructions on which pins go where, but they all these are marine approved boat building code.
Yeah, we use Amphenol. A lot of the boat manufacturers using either Amphenol or Deutsch, and so they're compatible with most of what's coming out of the factories.
Yep. Some other little features I just want you to be aware of that you might not see on other lights is, as you can see here, let's see. See, there's a channel around the back of this light. This is the back. When these get installed, they really need to be installed with a marine grade silicone or epoxy. But what this does is this helps confirm, as long as the customer or the installer fills these channels, this is going to provide a really nice gasket to make sure that there is a watertight seal. Additionally, when the light gets installed, let's see, which way am I going? They get installed with these three, we include the stainless steel hardware to install them here. But if you could look inside this hole, there are actually threads inside here. So if there was an event where this light needed to be removed off the back of the boat for whatever reason, we have a jig that you could install into these three holes here. And there are legs that help push against the back of the boat, provide counter pressure to help pop the light off. All of our lights include this feature as well. These lights can be, any light can be very difficult to pull off once they've been installed, but we've thought ahead of, what needs to happen if it does need to be removed. Rob, do you want to talk about warranty on the lights?
Yeah, so we offer, if it's being sold through an authorized dealer, which in this case, that would apply to all of you and your customers, our standard warranty, if they buy directly from us, is 1 year. If they buy from you, they get a 2-year warranty, because we want to encourage them to buy through our dealer network and have a professional installer do the installation. And that gives us peace of mind that they're being installed correctly. It also incentivizes customers to go to you, not directly to us. So 2-year warranty. We take a very relaxed approach with warranty. We are going to start serializing and laser engraving the product just so that we can track our internal quality metrics and whatnot. We have some OEM partners, and we just don't see very many, if any, of these come back. They've been a really solid, robust product for us. But if you have any issues, we're here to stand behind it. We'll take care of you. We maintain inventory so we can get replacement units out right away and whatnot. We have tech support available to answer questions. If you're troubleshooting a problem or an RGB controller on a particular boat is acting funny or not communicating with our light the way you think it should, we can help walk you through that and make sure you get a clean install and a happy customer.
Let's see, I had something in mind I was going to say. Do we want to talk about the triple or?
Yeah, we can show it to them, and also this is a good chance. So this is like the sales rep travel kit that we've been showing you here on the table so far. Let's switch gears a little for the dealers. This is a dealer kit, like a desktop kit that you can put out on your sales counter, your parts counter. That it doesn't have all of the stickers on this yet. Eric was building some of these and getting them designed for our new products. But these will be available here very soon, and it's working product. This is our triple topside light here that Eric will talk to you about. There's got a full power, fully working pipeline on it with momentary switches. It's also going to have one of those deck lights and a cup holder ring on it. And the customer can walk up and push the button, and the light's going to turn on full power and blind them, which impresses them on how bright the lights are, and then they got to have them on their boat. It's been a really effective sales tool for us.
So this is, again, for the dealers that think it would be helpful to have something to show potential customers. This can be sent to our dealers. Again, Rob said, plugs in just like that travel kit. Push the buttons, you get full power. There is one unique product on here that we didn't show already. And it's a brand new product. It's called a triple top sight. And as you can see here, it's kind of a flat.
Here, I'll screen share and go to the website where you can see it a little bit better while Eric talks about it.
And we talked about that video. We watched that video of that person surfing, and I said there's light on top of the wave. That is this product as well. So it just, again, it supports the light on top. What this is meant to do is people that want like rear facing, or even this would work well with a forward facing product as well. This is Rob's kind of scrolling through rotation to show you the shape of it. But you can see there are 3 different LED elements in there. They're at divergent beam angles, meaning that you can mount this, say, above the swim deck in the center of the boat, and it will throw light to the left, to the right, and right down the center. This is a very impressive brand new light. It is also RGB. It is also fully waterproof. So it can take as much water as you want to give it, but it was really intended to sit above the water line. This light ended up being, just to be candid, a little more expensive than we thought it was going to be. So the price point has been driven up for us to make the margin. And we didn't, this would be something you guys can sell, but probably as a special order kind of light. Is that how you see it, Rob?
Yeah, this would be a special order item. So wouldn't, so it is available, and we'll provide pricing info to Davis Distribution that they can share with you guys on that one as well. So it is a special order item that Davis likely won't be stocking, but you can order it through them.
There's some things that we're trying to do to bring down the price.
You can see it right there on the back of that boat above the swim deck. That's a triple topside light on the back of that Mastercraft right there. Gives you an idea of kind of visually how that looks.
So customers like, I want rear facing lights. I want to install a light bar up here on the tower. We don't love light bars. Light bars are, they're very difficult to install. Running wires through a tower, especially a tower that articulates, is hard to do. 2, once you're up there and you turn that thing on, everyone sitting behind that tower, or typically in the back of the boat, just gets absolutely blinded. You don't need the light in the cabin. You want the light on the top of the water. Yeah. So that's why we designed this fixture. And 3rd, because those light bars produce heat, those bugs just tend to swarm right above you, and they're not fun for anybody, where this produces far less heat, and this is, getting splashed on all the time. And the bugs don't enter the boat because, we put the light in the back.
Yep. Sorry to get off subject here just a little bit. I wanted to show you kind of some differences. That's actually Eric's boat right there with a pair of Mavericks on the back of it. We had to dim those down for the photography at Lake Powell, but gives you an idea of just how bright these are. That's actually Steven's boat with a pair of pipelines on it right there. We shot these back in Lake Powell a year and a half ago. And then that's Eric's houseboat. That's actually our older generation Mavericks on it, with just 2 Mavericks on it.
Yep.
And he's just updated that to 3. We don't have any images of it with 3 on it yet, but you can see the Supra on this side. That's the Mavericks. This houseboat has Mavericks, which obviously are tucked way back under that swim deck. And then you got a set of pipelines on Steven's boat over here on the other side.
Yeah.
So, couple things, I just want to add to what Eric has said. I probably should have started out giving you a little bit of background or history on us. This all started out as kind of a passion project for us. Eric and I share a mutual brother-in-law, and we were down at Lake Powell for his bachelor party some years ago. And we had a full moon one night and decided to go out and surf in the light of the full moon, and just had a blast doing it. And so we came back from that trip, and Eric was hell-bent on surfing at night at Lake Powell from then on. So he started looking at lighting products that were available in the industry, tried a couple of the top products that he could find, and just wasn't impressed. Eric's a tinker, a bit of a innovator and product wizard, and so he had some experience working in 12-volt products in a younger version of himself, and so he just decided he could figure something cool out and started tinkering. That's where my brother and I came into the picture. We were in aerospace manufacturing at the time, and Eric's an old family friend of ours, so he approached us about help with manufacturing the product. So he had the idea, figured out how to build it, what he wanted to build. My brother and I got involved and helped him refine the design a little bit and make it manufacturable and run it through its paces. And then I fell in love with the project during that time and kind of approached Eric and said, hey, I'd love to go, work on this with you full time. And that's kind of how Eric and I ended up where we are today. We just set out to make the brightest lights we could make. We wanted something that was just kick-ass performance and embarrass the competition, really. And we didn't take that lightly. My background and expertise being in aerospace manufacturing really lends a hand to high-end, high performance, high quality. And Eric was after the same thing with his vision for this product. And so I think the two of us kind of combining on that, we were able to kind of nail that down. And now that we moved into the second generation of our products, there's so many improvements and enhancements on this version of the product from where we started. We started out being known as the brightest light in the industry, kind of right out of the gate. And I think we've moved, even further forward from the competition with this new second generation of our products that's now available. Not sure how many of you are familiar with us or were familiar with us before the meeting today, but if anyone's got any questions, we'd love to field those or see what else we can answer for you about products before we go into anything else. Does anybody have anything they'd like to ask or that we haven't covered yet?
Yeah, is the lights only controlled via the remote, or can you do a phone app as well? So
our system on its own currently does not operate through a phone app, but again, that's all driven on the driver's side, right? That's not a light function. That's a driver and RGB controller function. Our RGB controller, it's solid. It does the job. It's performed well for us over the years. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles of a lot of the modern zone controllers. We plan to develop our own zone controller. It's something we've worked on to an extent, but we don't have ready for release. We don't have a release date on that. That's a ways off. So most modern boats are coming with a higher end zone controller already in the boat. They're integrated through the touchscreen on the boat or through apps, wireless, Bluetooth, and our light is compatible with any of those zone controllers. So it's really a plug and play light that can work with the other existing zone controllers out there. And we plan to finish developing our own zone controller and add a lot of those high-end features that the customers want to have very soon. That's on our short list of upcoming projects.
But do remember, this will integrate with pretty much any zone controller on the market, any RGB processor in any boat. If they have one, we just hook right up to it, yeah. RGB to RGB.
And most of the new boats are all touchscreen based anyways. And so, and our lights, like we're the factory option for Supra on the underwater, both their entry level and upgrade underwater light. And it's all controlled through their touchscreen and integrated through their software and the CAN bus network on the boat.
Yeah, this is the exact same product that Supra puts on their boat.
Yeah.
We do have an internal customer support team here. So if you get out in the field, you have questions you can call us. We can have Steve distribute, or we have all the emails. We can distribute like the toll-free number to get a hold of our internal salespeople. That's led by a person named Ryan Roberts. He's very personable, very knowledgeable about our product. And if the questions, whether they be about the product or install for that matter, if they go beyond his level, there's plenty of us here that can jump on the phone. We are a small company, but we love to innovate. We love to make the best products, and we want the best experience for our customers. Yeah. This is part and parcel to what Rob said about we're fairly loose on our warranty program. We trust our product. It is a good product. We are seeing very few returns on the product, but as a result, we want the customer to have a good experience. And so even if they came back a couple of years later and they say, man, I'm not sure when I bought it, but my light stopped working or whatever, there's some water in it or something, we're more than happy to replace it. We just have historically.
Yeah, it's kind of like the old Apple warranty process of you're a couple months out of warranty, no big deal, we'll still take care of you. It's just, we believe in taking care of the customer. We're boaters ourselves. We like being treated well, and we like treating you guys and your customers well too. So And the product
Okay,
speaks.
if I can add in, I mean, look, I met Rob and Eric. It's been a couple of years back now, and you know, I've seen just at their facility how they are so passionate about this, and into the fact where they've spent more money than I want to think of in bringing all of the manufacturing in house. And so there's something to that. I mean, when you think about not having control of that manufacturing outside, you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know if there's any flaws or issues, or it just causes you from being able to deliver a product. Now having that all done, I mean, that's a story in itself. And then, you know, think of the technologies and the patents and in the, you know, electronics world that we're selling in. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that just comes right off of a shelf in China, and you know, it sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. You know, and that the fact that it's manufactured right here in the States and, you know, a 2-year warranty, that's something that it's makes it an easy sell.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind when you go out.
We've shown you a little bit of our social media, but I want to point a couple things out to you. So I'll share the screen here with you just one more time. Our content creator is really, really talented. And as we've been developing more content recently, he's really upped his game and what he's been working on. I mean, the light speaks for itself. I mean, those are obviously live video and unaltered. You can see how bright those are. But just to give you an idea, I mean, over the last 30 days, 320,000 accounts reached. We have not been running any paid advertising. We actually just launched a paid campaign today for the first time in over a year. That's all organic. This account was at about 4,000 followers last December when Tanner, our social media guy, took over, and he's grown out organically to about 25,000. We've got distributors in Europe now. We've got people asking to sign on in South America and Canada. I know most of you guys are here local in the States, but I just want you to know that like we invest in marketing and our reach and getting out in front of you know, the boating community and the audience. A lot of this stuff right now, it speaks to the wake surf crowd. You know, our product is very, very popular with that audience. That being said, one of our big focal points for this coming year is going to be more of this kind of lifestyle stuff. The houseboats, the cabin cruisers, pontoons, swimming, floating, hanging out, listening, you know, to music in the evening, or drinking a glass of wine or a beer on the back of the boat, and just enjoying the time of being on the water as opposed to surfing. Obviously, we're well aware that surfing at night is illegal in most markets, and so it's nice to also be able to show a different use of the product for lifestyle, swimming and going down the slide on the houseboats, that kind of thing. So, you know, we'll be shifting our marketing focus to be a little bit broader and touch more customers this year. But the social media that we've been producing has been performing exceptionally well. So that's a set of our new Generation 2 pipelines on this boat here. I mean, it's just, and that's after dark. A lot of the stuff I've been showing you at this point was before sunset or close to sunset, and they show really well even with daylight. After dark, I mean, you can just see it's just overwhelming how bright they are. I don't like to disparage competitors, but there just really is another light out there that even comes close to what ours does from just a sheer performance output perspective. And, you know, get on the Facebook groups, the forums, and search for Liquid Lumens, and you'll see that our customers echo that. I mean, that's not even sunset there, and you can see the light output you're getting off those boats. It's phenomenal. But here we go.
There we go.
All right, back to the top. So here's the website. You can see we've got saltwater coming soon. When those bronze lights are in stock, we'll let you know. Freshwater is what we have available now. Underwater is our primary selling product. Above water would be like the triple top sides and those deck lights. These are the three, you know, primary products that we sell hands down the most of. The pipeline, about 3-to-1 is our best selling light. So you're going to sell a lot more of these than anything else. Skinny Dip's there for the budget conscious customer that still wants a high end light, and Mavericks is for the customer that's got to have it all. You know, you scroll down through and we talk about our technology through some of these links and information here, and the IP that went into the lights. You know, you can see those custom LED boards through that lens. and what Eric talked about with the overpopulation of LEDs, so that we can make your reds and blues and pinks and purples as bright as all the other colors. This section we used to feature kind of new products and new releases, like our triple top side, and then then just our basic links and things down here. And we're gonna add some brand new on the water photos of them in use on boats and things too. As you come down through it, explains what comes in your kit, talks about performance and specifications. So, as you guys that need to be able to sell it and communicate this to the customer, feel free to show them the website, walk them through the info here. We never offer discounts on the product, and we control all of the major online retailers. So we're the only ones that we allow to sell on Amazon, eBay, any of those platforms. And we do that so that we can control the minimum advertised pricing and protect your territories for you. So you guys are welcome to sell the product on your own websites. We just ask that you only show the advertised price on your site or your social media. If you want to offer a promotion directly to your customer or out of your storefront, that's totally up to you to discount it at your discretion. But we just ask that you not advertise that online and undermine the market for your competitors. We have an installation guide that goes through. It's a nice PDF with drill templates and everything. This comes with every set of lights, so it's here for not only you dealers that are installing it, but if you have a customer that walks in, wants to buy it and install it themselves, it's got drill templates, the step-by-step how to pin out the wire harnesses, what comes with it. It's all, very intuitive and user-friendly and easy to do. And again, we've got our 1-800 tech support line that can answer any questions for you. Really simple and straightforward installation process. Most of our experienced dealers can install this in I'd say a couple hours, hour or two.
First one will take maybe 4.
Yeah. And our familiar dealers, we've got a local shop here that installs a handful of these a week, and they're probably doing an install an hour, in an hour to 2 hours tops. But they've done a lot of them. So
all right, guys, have a good night.
Thank you all. Have a good one.
Thank you so very much.
thanks, everybody.
Thanks so
We'll
much.
talk to you soon.